Welcome in the chairman and CEO of NASCAR, Brian France, joining us, visiting the ESPN campus today. You've been here before. It just gets bigger and bigger, huh?
It is. It's just expanding, and you guys got a lot going on here.
Yeah, it's always fun. Now, Brian, it's your 8th year as the chairman and CEO of NASCAR. What is the best thing right now about your sport?
Well, I think we've got momentum. I think we started off with a really neat champion in Daytona 500 and Trevor Bayne, a young kid with an old team. So we had some neat storylines. Some of the drivers that have been struggling, like Jeff Gordon, have already won, and they put notice that they're going to contend for the championship. Jimmy Johnson could do something historic and get to 6. And then Dale Earnhardt Jr. is running well. He's well within our playoff structure to make it, and he's competing at a high level. So we see a lot of neat things going on right now.
Okay, let's go to the other side now. What's the biggest challenge you face now entering your 8th year?
Well, I think we all came out of a very strange and difficult economy. So the business side of things really got stressed. I think we've passed through that, I hope, fortunately. So our fans getting to events, they drive further, they stay longer, they're more impacted. And then the one other thing is, from a mechanical standpoint, for us to keep our racing quality, the competition as high as it is, it's difficult to do. It's much more difficult than the typical sport to keep the parity of competition right. But we've managed to do that. We've got momentum, and we're looking for a great year.
You mentioned a couple drivers now turning things around. Dale Earnhardt Jr., we know how much of a celebrity he really is to this sport. Off to a great start so far this season. What does he mean when he's succeeding to the sport of NASCAR?
Well, he's the biggest franchise in NASCAR. It would be great if he continues to figure out the chemistry of the team. He's done that. I think his confidence is finally back where it was a few years ago. He went through a pretty good slump, but it's nice to see him competing at a high level.
All right, now Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, so many names. Of course, Denny Hamlin, the Busch brothers. But it's been dominated at the end of the season for 5 straight years by Jimmy Johnson. How does his reign really affect the sport?
Well, it's just unbelievable. I mean, for any, at the highest level of any sport, to win 5 consecutive championships, he probably doesn't get enough credit for that. It is a team sport. He's got a great team in Hendrick Motorsports. Chad Knaus is his quarterback of what they do on the other side of the wall. But probably doesn't get enough credit. But I think this is going to be a year. If he can do it, I said this last year, but the competition is so much easier. It's better. There's 4 or 5 at least guys who think that they're going to take a real shot at him here in the playoffs.
Why do you think he doesn't get enough credit?
Well, I don't think that's something he runs around trying to promote and figure out. I think he just puts his game face on and wins when he needs to win. But he's a great guy. He's represented us well, and we'll see what he does on number 6.
Every weekend, what's your favorite thing when you go out to the track?
Oh, I think the size of it, the huge crowds that file in, the energy when the green flag comes out. I think it's a different feeling than perhaps any other sport.
There's been some tinkering with the playoff system. Your thoughts so far on the progression of the playoff system?
Well, we wanted to put urgency into winning races early. I think it's likely, but we'll have to see these 2 wild card spots. They're going to be decided by how many wins you have in the regular season. Probably comes into play because there's not a lot. It's hard to win. So I think it's putting more urgency on that. That's what we wanted.
Brian, appreciate the time here.
Thank you, Ken.
Brian France joining us here on SportsCenter.